Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I wanted to talk to you about a window of opportunity that the VA gives to all of us as we transition out of the military. This window of opportunity is a kind of an exclusive window that is for presumptive conditions. So now let's start with the fact that when you get out of service and a few years go by and finally you're settled in and you're looking to file a claim, you need to provide that nexus to the VA, right? You hear about it everywhere, regardless of what video you're watching or what have you. Most people that are in this space are talking about the fact that you need to prove that that condition is as a result of, manifested during, that there was some sort of an in-service event, something to target that condition started or manifested or whatever during your time in service. However, presumptive conditions eliminate that, and the VA gives a window of opportunity for every single veteran, regardless of where you served, a little window of opportunity for a presumptive condition. So this is really, really important information, because if you're trying to get to 100%, which, for married with one child, you're looking at nearly $4,000 per month. So this is big deal stuff if you're trying to see what other conditions you may have that the VA would rate as service connected. Now, we all know that the scale moves, substantially once you start to move up the scale, right? You're, less than 200 at 10%, you're, a few $100 at 20%, at 30%, you get to start adding in your spouse and dependent children. And then, the numbers go up and up and up. And then from that 90 to 100%, oftentimes it's a $1,000 or more jump, which is substantial. So $1,500 jump or what have you. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the big thing here is if you got out of service and you didn't get seen for anything while you were in, or only a couple things, you got out and finally you're thinking to yourself, I need to go to the doctor and get seen for X, Y, and Z, because now there's no ramifications, we'll say, if I go to see the doctor, where before we had, maybe you were looked down on if you went, maybe you were, at least when I was in, it was kind of frowned upon, right? If you were that guy or gal that was going to sick call or going to the medic or the corpsman or whoever, right? The battalion aid station, whatever branch it calls, whatever. As you're going to go see the medical providers, it was frowned upon. And so you saw that other people were dealing with that. So then you just told yourself, well, I won't do that. I'll just, chew on some Motrin and drink some water and push through. So then when you get out, all of a sudden that becomes an option. And maybe you got a job with an employer that had health care. And so you go, okay, well, maybe I'll go get seen for my bad back or my migraines or whatever. So this window of opportunity for presumptive conditions, again, this is very important, right? You can file a claim for anything at any time. It just matters how much evidence you have. This presumptive window for all veterans allows you this opportunity to provide less evidence. That's what a presumptive does for you. Now, the way I kind of thought about this is there's three buckets that we as a veteran group are going to fall into. So all of us, right, brothers and sisters, we're going to fall into one of these. The, oh, glad I know this bucket because I'm getting ready to get out. Or, man, thanks for telling me bucket because I just got out and I'm in this window of opportunity. And the damn, I wish I would have known bucket, which that's the bucket I was in, by the way. The I wish I would have known bucket, which is everybody who is outside of the window and now it's gone because that window closes. So this window is a 1-year period after your date of discharge. If you went to the doctor for anything within 1 year of your discharge, you could potentially get rated for that under the presumptive qualifiers. Now, my opinion is let the VA say no, right? The answer is no, unless, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So give yourself an opportunity, regardless of what the condition is, whether you see it listed somewhere or not. File for it anyway if you went to the doctor for it within this 1 year period, because you're going to give yourself a chance, right? An opportunity for it. Now, I'm going to read some stuff directly from the VA's website regarding this specific presumptive period. And I'll kind of give you my thoughts as I go through it. So here we go. This is from the VA's website. Disabilities that appear within 1 year after discharge. You may be able to get disability benefits if you have signs of an illness like hypertension, high blood pressure, right? Arthritis, diabetes, or ulcers that started within a year after you were discharged from active military service. So that's not all of the conditions. They're just giving you an idea, a range of the types of things. Wow. High blood pressure, arthritis, diabetes, ulcers. All right. Maybe I never got checked for ulcers when I was in, right? Maybe I never got checked for arthritis when I was in. Maybe I never got checked for, well, you're usually checked for high blood pressure. But let's say that, whatever, you didn't. Or diabetes, right? You probably didn't get checked for diabetes when you were in. So, but if you ended up getting those types of things, and again, this is just a sampling of conditions to give you a kind of an idea. Moving on here, it says, if your symptoms appear within 1 year after discharge, even if they weren't there while you were serving, right? Big deal. Even if they weren't there while you were serving, will conclude, and they mean will, the VA will conclude that they are related to your service. So if you went to the doctor within a year of getting out and you got diagnosed or seen for X and you had signs, symptoms of it, even if you never had it documented in your record at all, the VA will presume that, hey, this is service connected and we're going to go ahead and rate you at that. This is important, and many, many, many people are not aware of it. Even those that went to the doctor and got diagnosed for things, what happens is we'll self-segregate out, right? We'll watch videos online and they'll say, you need to prove a nexus and you need to prove a nexus. And then you tell yourself, well, I don't have anything from when I was in service that would justify that I had this condition when I was in. I didn't get diagnosed until I got out, so therefore I don't qualify. Don't do that. You have a 1 year period. This window of opportunity is huge. So leverage it. Even if you went to the doctor with, and I would go this far, even if you went to the doctor with signs or symptoms of a condition, but you weren't diagnosed for it, but you complained about it, and then later were diagnosed for it, you might be able to leverage that. And it might hold up if you pushed it all the way through to an appeal. So don't shortchange yourself and give yourself an opportunity to get a yes, is the bottom line. Let's go on here. It says, am I eligible for disability benefits from VA? You may be eligible for disability benefits if you have an illness that is at least 10% disabling and appears within 1 year after discharge, and you meet both of these requirements. So there's two bullets. First one is, the illness is listed in the Title 38 Code of Federal Regulations 3.309A, and you didn't receive a dishonorable discharge. Those are the two conditions. Who's covered? Veterans. What kind of benefits can you get? Healthcare and compensation payments. How do you get these benefits? You'll need to file a claim, and then it just talks about the claim process. So, this video is not really about the claim process. It's about this presumptive window. Now, if you click on the list of conditions, which is the Title 38 CFR Code of Federal Regulations 3.309A, then what happens is it actually takes you to a Word document. And in that Word document, it has a whole list of things. And I'm not going to read them all, but I'll copy and paste. And again, my position, if it were me, anything that I was diagnosed with within that 1 year period, I would file a claim for and see if it sticks. I don't care if it's on this list or not, even though it says it's supposed to be. That's just me. But on this list, and again, I'm not reading everything, things like, right, arthritis, let's see, brain hemorrhage, cardiovascular issues, there's a whole list of those, cirrhosis of the liver, diabetes. I can't read half of these things. That's why I'm not going to read them all. Different diseases here, leukemia. Let's see. Other organic diseases of the nervous system. So that's very broad. Let's see, what else can I read in these fancy words? Tuberculosis, active. So it says active tuberculosis, tumors, ulcers, MS. So there's all kinds, right? There's a big list. I'll copy and paste it, put it in the description. It's just really important to know that there is this window of opportunity, and you may have got diagnosed for something after you got out. And if you just got out, important to know that this exists, because you definitely want to get checked for things in that period of time. So with that, I'll go ahead and conclude it. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.